Imagine how much more energy and creativity you would have if you stopped comparing yourself to everybody else and simply embraced your own authentic marketing style. That's what we're going to talk about today on Joyful Business TV. So, welcome and hello. I'm Laura West, CEO of the Center for Joyful Business. I'm an intuitive business success coach, and I'm an author, speaker, and host of Joyful Business TV. So, for over 20 years, I have been helping conscious, creative, um, really meaningful people who want to do meaningful work, change makers. That was the word I was looking for. Sensitive, a lot of people are sensitive these days, and I think that group is getting bigger. But also, they're very ambitious entrepreneurs, right? They want to make a difference and with their business, and they don't want to do it in a way that is where they feel like they're compromising their soul, right? They want to do strategies that feel really authentic. And that's what we're going to be talking more about today is how do you find that authentic marketing style? What does authentic even mean? Where do you begin? So on Joyful Business TV, we talk about conscious and creative marketing and business strategies. We talk about ideas to grow your business using your passion, your purpose, your creativity, and what makes you uniquely you. I also really focus on the mindset shifts that need to happen so that you can open up your voice, really claim your creative power so that you can stand and be a leader with your message and your movement in a way that feels really, really good. All right, we're about marketing and business feeling really good. So if you are here live, if you're watching the show live, the way that it works is for 30 minutes, I'm going to share on our topic today. And then after that, I'm going to turn the recording off and I'm going to open it up to you. And I'll be here for 30 minutes to answer your questions, have a conversation with you about your business and what you're up to. So stay tuned for that. So today I'm going to start, I want to talk about this idea of stop comparing yourself to other people and embrace your own authentic marketing style. You know, the way that I talk to my clients about it is that you want to look to others for inspiration and not competition, right? They are mirror mentors for you. And what I mean by mirror mentors is that they are a mirror for you so that when you feel something in you that gets either triggered, super inspired when you listen to Brene Brown's podcast, or maybe feel a little triggered, like, am I ever going to get my book done? Am I ever going to get to do a podcast? Or why are they doing? Oh, I wish I could do it that way. When those things come up, if you look at them as they're really a gift, they are truly a gift. It is being a mirror for you and letting you know what it is that is already inside you that wants to grow, right? That wants to grow more. So it's not about them, and it's not about them versus you. It's really about they're being a mirror for what's inside you that wants to grow more. So I do a whole class on this. I do a lot of work around mirror mentors with my clients, and it's amazing how informative it is. So the next piece around authentic marketing style is that you want to really get clear about your own unique, beautiful brilliance and what your sweet spot is in your marketing industry or in your niche. And then look for how can you apply it to your method, your message, and your mojo. So that's what we're going to be diving more into today. So your authentic marketing style is, it's really the way that you will stand out in your market. All right. It's not about trying to imitate somebody else. It's not trying to kind of sell your soul, so to speak. That's what happens a lot is that people feel like I've got to be like somebody else. They learn from a teacher and they think they have to be exactly like the teacher. And the thing is, it's impossible to be exactly like your teacher, right? I've had teachers who were really great extroverts, right? They had talents or strengths that weren't my talents or strengths. So neither one of us were wrong. It's just that I'm not going to be able to emulate exactly how they do it because I'm not who they are, right? Their style works for them because that's their authentic marketing style. So you have to be careful when you're learning from people because you do want to find somebody that really resonates with what your authentic marketing style is. All right. Now, again, other people can give you inspiration, they can give you ideas, and you do need to learn the basics. Like you need to learn how to do something, and then you apply your authentic marketing style as an overlay. So, a little bit about my story. Some of you've heard I have an entire career in marketing ever since I was 16 years old and took FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America, in high school and got my first job. And I was administrative secretary at the time. However, I took over their marketing back in the days when we had like Selectric typewriters. I'm going to date myself. So, and then after that, I was VP of marketing for almost 20 years before I became a business coach for another 20 years. So, when I was leaving my corporate job and starting my own business as a coach, I remember the CEO, we were having this conversation about coaching and what I was going to go do. And he said, you're really great at strategy. You're really creative, really good with people. He's like, but there's something. He said, it's like you've never been comfortable in your own skin. And wow, that was a light bulb moment for me. I could feel my whole body, like, how that sizzle happens in your whole body when it's like a truth is touched, and you just feel that zzz thing. That's what I felt. I felt that zzz about not being comfortable in my own skin. And that really was one of those pivotal conversations because I realized that was my ultimate goal. I wanted to be comfortable in my own skin no matter what I did, where I went. So then I became a business coach and fell in love with coaching, felt like it was my natural style. And yet I still felt like I didn't fit in with all the other business coaches. I teach still, business strategies, but I wasn't that hardcore, you must do it this way. And I didn't use any sort of, any kind of manipulative type strategies. I was just, really honest, still am, transparent. But anyways, it always felt like there was something missing in the business world, in the business coaching world. And it was easy to be able to go to the place and say, well, there's something wrong with me, right? I'm not comfortable in my own skin. But what happened was that I started realizing that there was just a lot of tactics that other business coaches were using, especially back in the day, about 20 years ago, that they just crushed my sensitive soul, right? My sensitive soul is you treat people with respect. You treat people the way you want to be treated. And if I ever tried to emulate one of my coaches too closely to their style, like it just didn't work, right? And then I would get frustrated and get down and feel kind of depressed about it, or again, what's wrong with me? So I had to learn, I learned through my own process how to take my authentic marketing style and apply that to what my expertise is. So my expertise is, similar and yet different to every business coach that's out there. We're all very similar in a lot of things that we do, and yet there's a little bit of a difference, right? And then when I brought my authentic marketing style in, and we'll talk about that more, my unique, beautiful brilliance, that really started making me stand out and started having me feel really different. And yet I had some similarities, but then I could use my differences that they became a real, that's what made me appeal to certain people because I was different. I had a coach or a coaching client who was a coach one time. And I said, who else do you know? I was looking at my website and making some changes. And I said, who else do you know that it does something similar to me? And she wrote back an email and she laughed. And she said, the whole reason I hired you is because there is nobody else who does it like you do, right? And so that's real kind of proof in the pudding that people want to hire you because of your uniqueness. The other stuff is like check, check, check. Okay, great. You've got the business experience. But what makes you unique is why they're actually going to hire you. It's like your secret sauce, right? The other thing that happened for me was that I was writing what I felt like I was writing marketing prescriptions all day long. Like here, go do these two things. Here, go do these two things. Call me in the morning kind of thing. And a vast majority of people were like, yeah, I really want to do that. That's great. And then they wouldn't do it. Over and over and over again, they wouldn't do it. And I was like, what is going on with this? And so I realized that mindset your beliefs, your stories, your fears, and the energy alignment around what it is that you're doing and who it is that you believe yourself to be was really key. And so that became part of my big differential factor, is that I really focus on energy alignment to open up your voice, open up your creativity and your confidence so that you can be a leader. So I share this with you because this is what I want for you, is to look at, where's that part of, when you look in your industry, that part that a lot of people share, like, all right, here's the things that we do. Like, these are the bread and butter, the kind of the basic system for how we might do things. But then look at your authentic marketing style to say, here's the way that you are really unique. And so this will work for your brand, which is your message. And this works for your method, like how you do your marketing. And then it works for your mojo, which is like that creative flair, right? That creativity that comes out. All right. So, part of, and I've talked about this idea of creativity. Creativity, and I'm not talking about being an artist. Some of you might be an artist. Some of you have got artistic tendencies. That's not exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking about creativity, which is your unique way to express your voice, your message, your unique way that you're going to write things or say things, and even your unique worldview, right? That is your own creative expression of what your philosophy is, what your worldview is, right? And that is such a big part of this. So being able to open up that creativity, that creative expression, is really a big part of finding your authentic, natural style that's going to give you sustainable success. All right, so let's talk about these 4 things. There's 4 things that really contribute to your authentic marketing style. The first one is, we were just starting to talk about that a little bit, is about your beautiful brilliance. Your unique, beautiful brilliance is what makes you you, right? You could line up, for example, with me, we could line up 5 business coaches, and we're going to have some similarities, right? In some of our systems or things that we might teach. But there's going to be a lot of differences. And it's those differences that make each of us unique and have certain people want to gravitate to us. So where those differences show up, it's in things like, your talents, both your natural talents, like what are you naturally good at? Natural strengths, natural talents. Maybe you're really good at organizing. One of my natural talents is I'm really good at planning. I'm a good planner. I'm a good list maker. I love to make my list. And probably in a rare combination, I don't try to control it all, right? I like to be open about things. So I can make new lists. I can cross things out and, have a lot of flexibility, but that, having that plan gives me a structure and somewhere to start and somewhere to aim. And then I have a, real part of me that is very flexible and fluid and is willing to change and accept what's going on. So that unique combination makes it really different than maybe somebody else's idea of a plan. You want to look at your expertise. What are things that you've learned through the years? And I take all of my clients, my private clients, it's one of the first things we do in their retreats, their VIP retreats, is we go through their beautiful brilliance and we pull out what is the expertise that they have picked up along the way. So think about what is your expertise and all the different jobs that you've done. And seriously, when you start listing your jobs in high school, when I was that administrative assistant and I started doing their newsletter using the corrected typewriter, I would do their newsletter. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm still doing newsletters, right? However many decades later. So it's like breadcrumbs that are there telling you that there's just things that are natural, curiosities, fascinations, strengths that you've picked up. You want to look at the gifts of your experiences. What are things that you've gone through that maybe were like incredible, amazing experiences, or what I call those challenges, right? Where you get treasure from the pain. Maybe you have, maybe when you grew up, I had a client who grew up and they moved all the time. Her dad was in the Army, I think it was, and they moved all over the world actually. And she learned how to go into new schools, go into new communities, and make friends easily. And so that was part of her authentic marketing style, was she knew how to connect with people really easily, really quickly. I had another client who grew up, um, oh gosh, now it just slipped my head. She grew up. I forgot the people who knock on your door and talk to you, but she grew up in that kind of community and family. It's not the Jesuits. It's anyways. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But they taught her from a very early age how to quickly um, meet people, kind of disarm them and create safety and trust with them. How to smile and how to be open and how to engage people in conversations. And of course, those are perfect skills, beautiful skills for having your own business and being able to really open up and connect with people in a very authentic way. So you want to go through and do all of that. And you even want to look at your personality, because your personality traits are going to be part of it. I'm highly creative. I am kind of funny, but I'm honest. I'm gentle. I'm calm. Like, those are my personality traits, and that shows in my marketing. I've got all this creativity going on, but also I have this really calm calm presence, calm leadership that I take for my clients. And I've had people walk up to me after a presentation and say, "Wow, thank you for modeling calm leadership." Like, they really appreciated it. And then the last thing I would say with your beautiful brilliance is, and there's a whole call that we do on this, so you can look for another episode about beautiful brilliance, is to look at what makes you weird. Like, all those things in your whole life that you felt like, what makes you feel weird or feel out of place? And things for me were like, all of my childhood, I would be in my imagination a lot. I'd love to read books, just get into those stories. I'd love to play with my Barbie, Ken and Barbie, and have them in the grapevine and the trellis, and they were on these adventures. And I loved just being in my imagination and in that possibility place where anything could happen. I loved looking at the college catalog with all the different courses and just imagine the possibilities. Like, that was so fun for me. And so being able to bring those qualities back and really acknowledge them in my marketing style, I still do a lot of things with the imagination. Now I do guided journeys, creative visualizations. I still take people into the imagination, right? So it's really amazing when you go back and look. You'll start seeing clues, either things you've already embraced or things that you can go back and embrace that will make your message and the way that you market really different. So the second thing is, you want to look at your soul tribe. And again, I have a whole episode dedicated just to, attracting your soul tribe. But look at who is in it and looking at what they need and really practicing deep listening within your soul tribe. That is such a great skill, is to really listen deeply. And what I mean by soul tribe are your clients, your current, your past, your potential clients who are hanging around, your raving true fans, your connectors, and the people who are just fascinated and curious about you, and you're not quite sure what that connection is about. All of those are people who are in your soul tribe, who are interested in your message, interested in you. So you want to take a look at them and make sure you're practicing that deep listening, because that's going to inform your authentic marketing style. It's going to give you lots of fodder, lots of content, lots of places to talk about with their pains and frustrations, their dreams, their aspirations. All right. The third piece to your authentic marketing style is to marry your authentic marketing style, like what you're finding out about your particular brilliance, with marketing strategies that work best for you. And so often we get told, like, you must do this marketing strategy or you'll never be successful. You'll never get to six figures. But the thing is, if you don't embrace who you are naturally and just authentically, then you're never going to get to the six figures, right? Because it's really hard to try to sell your soul and be like somebody else. It's not sustainable. You can do it for a little while, but it's not sustainable, all right? So things like, if you're a natural writer, then you want to think about, or how do I incorporate writing more into my natural marketing strategy? And get really clear, like, what kinds of writing? Because I have a lot of clients who like to write, and I can think of clients who love to write long, in-depth articles with research and quotes. I have clients who love to write short, inspirational pieces. I have clients who like to write that's more creative. I have clients who love to tell story after story. I have clients who have this huge sense of humor and they bring that humor in. So they could all have an authentic writing style around around the strategy of writing, but it's going to look really different. And these days, any of that will work for a marketing style. You can use that to to connect with your audience, with your soul tribe. Speaking is another one. If you're natural, like you like to speak. So I'm not a natural speaker, like get up and talk anywhere, anyhow, like a performer, like just, press a button and I go. But I can speak and I can speak. It's hard to tell I can do that today. I love speaking in small groups. I love where it's experiential. I love to speak where I can get the audience engaged. That's my natural speaking style. I'm not naturally a speaker for 25,000 people in an audience. I could probably do that with some support. There's a way that you'll find your authentic marketing style. And of course, you're going to stretch and you'll add other strategies as you get more comfortable. But you really want to build your marketing on the base of what it is you do naturally well. So you might also, in thinking about speaking, maybe you do better interviewing people, like where you're putting the spotlight on other people, but you can be the curator of that. Maybe you like to be the one that's interviewed. Maybe you really shine brilliantly when somebody else shines a spotlight on you and gives you permission and asks you the questions so that you can talk, right? So be thinking about, like, what does that look like? Maybe you have, you love music. Maybe you love songs. I have a client who, in his newsletter, and he's a leadership coach. You wouldn't think it's naturally, you wouldn't see the natural connection, but he always has song lyrics in his newsletter. It's part of his beautiful brilliance and part of his authentic marketing style. You might like to draw or create art. I have another client who would use, who created cairns, those stacks of like meditative rocks. And he did this, oh my gosh, I can't remember if it was like 5 years. Every day he would have a picture of a cairn on Facebook. And then he started writing these meditations. And that ended up, not only is that something that people, he became known for, but it's something that became a book later on. All right, so that leads me to number 4, which is about unlocking your unique style of creativity. Okay, again, what I talked about earlier is it's not about you have to be an artist. Okay, it's not about you must paint beautiful pictures, and that is really popular right now. I can't paint beautiful pictures of a scene, but I do some cool intuitive painting. So I love that part. But again, you unlock your creativity in all different ways. Whether it's through writing, through your unique worldview, the way that you put words together, the way that you bring your philosophies forward. So I have a client who writes really in-depth articles every week about legacy, regrets, purpose. And again, he's this one, he uses song lyrics at the beginning, and he loves to pull quotes in his, and that's a form of creativity, right? I have other clients who love to take photographs. I mean, not everybody, but a lot of us have gotten really excited about photography using our iPhones. And so there's so much you can do with that to help illustrate a point in your marketing. And here's something I want to say about your authentic marketing style, because this comes up a lot especially for creatives, is that your authentic marketing style doesn't have to be 100% original. Yes, it's authentic to you. It doesn't mean it has to be original, never done before. It's actually really probably almost impossible to be 100% original. But what I find is you can follow that 80-20 rule, right? 80% of what you teach, train, speak on, what you market on, has got the tried and true methodologies, strategies, and tools. The 20% is your secret sauce of that unique, beautiful brilliance, plus your unique creativity, your unique creative expression. A great example of this is going back to one of my strengths is planning. And I have expertise in planning. And when I was a VP of marketing for shopping centers, we had 50 shopping centers. They all had to create a business plan, a marketing plan. Every single year, all their retailers created marketing plans. So I have lots of experience with that. But what I notice is entrepreneurs, we don't need those kinds of big, giant 6-inch binders for a marketing plan. We just need a guide, and we need something creative that we can use every day. And so I took that idea of planning, which is the tried and true methodology, with my creative, my creative expression, that we need more of a guide instead of this like loads of Excel spreadsheets. And I brought them together to create the Joyful Business Plan. And I've sold hundreds and hundreds, probably over 1,000 copies of the Joyful Business Plan over the years, because people are looking for a different way to be able to create a plan that they can use as a guide throughout the year. All right. So after you do some excavating and reclaiming of your unique, beautiful brilliance, you start putting it together to create your authentic marketing style. And so we mentioned 3 different pieces. And one of those pieces of your authentic marketing style is your message. So in what way can you contribute to your message? Can you create that? Again, I've created this non-traditional approach to growing your business through creativity, healing, and spirituality. And I bring that all together in a way that's unique and different, right? All right, what is your unique way that you can bring together and put that in your message, so that your message has some of the tried and true, the 80%, but then that 20% is your unique way of expressing in your beautiful brilliance. And then you want to look at your method, all right, as we talked about. What is your preferred way to connect with people and nurture those relationships over time? Is it the writing? Is it speaking? Is it talking to people one-on-one? Is it having small groups and executive roundtables? Is it having a pop-up success cafe, so that you can be right in person with small groups? Do you like to pick up the phone and just call people? You want to first look at what your really natural style is, and then you can start building. As you get that really stable, then you'll start doing it consistently, and then you'll build up that muscle, and you'll really get clear about your message. And then you can start adding in and stretching into other types of marketing strategies. And then that third piece is, how do you apply your authentic marketing style to your mojo? Your mojo is everything from, what is your particular unique way of, your unique perspective for how you talk about things, how you notice patterns and differences, your passions, what are you fascinated about, and how does that contribute to the way that you look at the particular type of solutions that you're providing for people. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this. We've been talking all about authentic marketing style today. So I want to leave you with one last real quick power ritual. This is my favorite one. I want you to just stop and pause for a moment, and I want you to just review, kind of like mentally scan your week and think about joy flow sightings. All right, this is a great ritual to do once a week. And take a moment to, you might want to close your eyes, you might want to write it down in a journal. And where is the joy flowing in your business? What is going well? All right, what is a celebration, a success? What is a brave, courageous action that you took? What is maybe a synchronistic thing that happened, a synchronicity or a connection that you have? And write that down, because what you focus on expands. In positive psychology, we talk about how you can broaden and build on success. So I'm a big believer in looking at your joy flow sightings. All right, I hope you enjoyed our episode for today. So I want to invite you to get more about Joyful Business, get more resources to help you grow your business. You can go over to joyfulbusiness.com, and we have lots of free resources there, all sorts of cool things you can read about, and you can get on our newsletter list so that you can keep in touch and hear about other things that we're doing. You can also go over to Facebook and search for Joyful Business Community and join hundreds of other conscious entrepreneurs as well. So thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so glad that we got a chance to be together today, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Thank you. Thank you for watching this episode of Joyful Business TV. I want to invite you to get more creative strategies and support for growing your business. You can start right now by activating your abundance mindset with a really powerful creative visualization that will help you get into the universal abundance current, one of my favorite things to do. And you'll also get a companion 7-day journal that will help you create a daily habit of co-creating with the universe. These are two powerful resources that you can get started right now to help grow your business and activate that abundant mindset. You just go over to activateabundancegift.com.